plan. I got to Flint Creek and it was flooded, but I went ahead and went upstream. I was actually on West Flint Creek. Because it was flooded, it changed. There's a lot of deadfall in Flint Creek and West Flint Creek, and when the water was down really low, it almost made it easier because you could get under a lot of it. But water was up. There was one all the way across. Sawed on a few limbs. Finally got through it, but the current, paddling against the current, was pretty stiff. And then once I got to my camp spot, it was kind of wet and almost flooded, and it just wasn't it just didn't look like a good setup to me. And that was on West Flint Creek. I probably could have, I thought about going up Flint Creek proper, but it, you know, with the current, again, after I'd already been out probably an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and close to 2 hours, and paddling upstream, sawing limbs, got out once, looked at one spot that was kind of up a hill. It was too far. I didn't want to carry all my stuff up a little hill, and so plan B now is it's about 2:30, and I'm heading to Bankhead National Forest. And if I stay, and I'm not sure I'm even going to stay, but I'm going to head there. It's about an hour away, 50 minutes or so. So I'm going to head there and go to Brushy Lake Campground and just do some, I guess, truck camping. I mean, I'll be in my hammock, but it'll be right, you know, next to my vehicle. So I'll be at it's a primitive campsite there at Brushy Lake. So I'm going to head there, get there, and just kind of look at it and just see what it looks like. And I might stay, and I may just come on back, you know. So just, it's one of those where you kind of, once you change, plans change, and you just, I don't know. I thought about even just going home now, but thought I'll drive out to Bankhead. Be a nice drive. So I'm gonna do that now. So you can see here, I'm just kind of tooling down the road here on Alabama 36 out here in the middle of nowhere, and gonna head on out to Bankhead National Forest and see what it looks like, see what I feel like when I get there, and if I just feel like it, I'll set up camp, and if not, I'll just drive on back and get home after dark. So we'll check in with y'all in a little bit. All right, folks, this is home. This is the Brushy Lake campground area. They have, of course, it's all primitive, but they have the designated sites, little fire pits, and I don't know, garbage hangers and picnic tables, parking. And anyway, something's going on with my camera. I don't know what it is. It's the cold. So this is my first time to camp here at Brushy Lake. I've been here several times, but not actually camped. They have a day use area and a camping area, and I didn't realize they distinguished between the two. I paid at the day use area, but I'm now in the camping area, and the camping area costs $5, whereas the day use is $3. Fortunately, I paid $5 just because I'm a nice guy. I mean, you know, it helps the cause. I mean, why not? A few bucks. I felt bad though. Actually, the reason I put $5 is because I had to write a check. I didn't have any cash on me. I have some emergency cash, but not a $5 bill. So anyway, maybe I won't get run out or arrested or whatever. So I'm going to set up my hammock, and there's not just a lot really to choose from as far as suitable trees, but I think I might have a couple that can work over here. So I'm going to give it a shot. It's like 4:30. I'm running out of light quick, so I got to get to it. So let me get it set up and I'll check in a little bit. Okay. Quick check-in. Shelter set up. Got my hammock, underquilt, sleeping bag liner. I actually got a little blow-up mattress in there. Not so much for insulation, but more for just spreading the hammock out. Hammock hurts my shoulders. Ground sheet down. Actually brought my quilt this time. Didn't take it last time. Got food and drink, table and chair, lights, stove, all that stuff ready to go. A little blue cheese hamburger sliders for dinner. Oh yeah. Working on firewood. Got some in the truck. Matter of fact, probably got more than I'll burn. That does look like a lot. That's big stuff. I'm gonna have to cut on that. But I'm gonna get a little more little stuff too. I stopped on the way in, picked up some stuff on the side of the road. But there's a little stuff around here. I'll go ahead and pick it up. What I don't use will be here for the next time. I can tell you right now, pretty sure I don't like these little fire rings. They're deep. It's like setting a fire in a well. It's like, you know, but it's like double walled. It's got the holes in it. Maybe it's made to like hold heat in there and then emanate it out or something. You know, that iron will heat up and hold. I don't know, but it seemed like it'd take a lot of fire to do that. And I don't normally build fires that big. I just build them big enough to feel the heat coming off of. But anyway, it is 5 o'clock. Get a little more firewood and work on supper. Start a fire. So see y'all in a little bit. The point of this trip in this video is for me to camp in 20-degree weather and maybe even the teens. I've woken up at camp several times and it's been in the 20s, but it's always warmed up quickly. You know, but today I don't think it's been above 30 all day. It's the lows around 20, maybe the teens, and tomorrow it might hit 40, 41, but it's going to be cold and in the 30s for most of the morning. So I wanted to come out here and camp in this weather for 2 reasons. First of all, I want to see how my gear does, see if I have the gear that can help me survive. And I've got a sleeping bag rated for 20 degrees. I've got a liner that'll add another 10 or 15 degrees to that. We'll see how all that works. Anyway, like I said, it's just about, you know, testing my limits to see what I can stand, what I like. And so I had never been in weather this cool. I'll see if I like it, see if the gear holds up, and we'll just go from there. So check in with y'all later. Well, it's about 6:30. Got my fire going good. It feels good. I'm comfortable. Haven't been cold yet. Nose is running a little bit, and like I said, keeping my gloves on. But overall, doing good. I'm not real sure of the temperature. I don't have service here on my cell phone, so I'm not entirely upset about that. Which kind of reminds me, I probably need to get some kind of thing. I guess I could check my truck. My truck has a thermometer on it. I can check and see what it says here in a little bit. But anyway, when I lost service, it was 30, and it was still daylight then. So I'm sure it's gone down. Fire's going good. Hadn't even started supper yet. It's just, you know, been kind of sitting here relaxing, and I think that's what I'll do next, is start supper. But I wanted to kind of talk about kind of what happened on this trip today. And what was funny was, after I left Flint Creek, right before I went into Bankhead, there's this gas station there called the Trading Post, and I stopped there to get a little snack before I came on into the National Forest here. Well, I saw some friends that had just coming out that had been hiking today. I ran into Roger and Carol and Gary. I've kayaked with them on a couple of different trips. They're friends with my friends Scott and Legina. I've done several trips with them. Great people. So anyway, I ran into them, got to talking to them, and I told them, I said, hey, I'm glad I ran into y'all, because now that I've told y'all what I was going to do, I'm more likely to do it, because I think I might have said earlier, if I stay, you know, I'm not sure I'm even going to stay. Well, after I saw them and told them, I felt obligated to kind of do it, and not anything on them, just because, you know how it is. You just say, you know what, I've said it, I want to do it, I want to go through with it. So that accountability kind of helped me out. So Carol and Roger and Gary, thanks for making me accountable. I hope y'all enjoyed your Mexican supper in Moulton tonight. Yeah, it was great to see y'all, and I hope we do get to paddle again soon. We talked about that. We do need to paddle again soon. Again, I've done several trips with them, and we always have a blast. So anyway, it was great seeing them. So here I am out in Bankhead. Got my fire going. I'm gonna have me some supper first. Eat supper, and then we'll just see what happens from there. All right. So you remember those blue cheeseburgers I was telling you about on the last video on Cateka Creek? Well, these are the same thing, but sliders. Again, you're supposed to be hiking and camping with my brother and the Poovey brothers, 4 of us total. So my plan was I'd eat about 4 to be my supper, let them split the other 4, but they're missing out. These things are some kind of good. Okay, so I've got my sliders cooked. I'm going to enjoy me a little supper, and I kept the fire down a little bit while I was cooking so it wouldn't just be crazy hot. And like I said last time, you got to watch the fumes off of wet or bad wood. But I've got it loaded back up now. It's going to take it a few minutes to get going, but that's okay. I'm warm from hovering over it, cooking these burgers, sliders. So I'm about to enjoy me some good old supper, and I'll check back in later. Okay, it's a little after 8, done with supper and just been enjoying my fire. Feels good, still hadn't got cold, still comfortable. This is probably gonna be my last check-in tonight. These GoPro batteries are dropping like flies. This cold, I guess, gets them, and they weird out. I'm just gonna enjoy the fire a little bit more, then hop in my sleeping bag and my hammock, and hope that I get through the night without freezing my butt off. So we'll see how it goes. See y'all on the flip side. Hey y'all, I got my breakfast done. It's eaten, and got my coffee made on my 3rd cup. And let's see, it is 8:40. So after I record this segment, I'm going to break down my hammock and rain fly. And again, this trip was just about an overnight camp in cold weather, test my gear, test myself. I didn't sleep good last night for a couple reasons. For one, the cold. Even though my sleeping bag was rated at 20 degrees and I did have a liner, I took off my outer layer. So I took off these pants and this hoodie, but I have 2 base layers on my legs. I had actually 3 shirts still on. So I had, still had several layers on. I got neoprene socks. I think those helped really keep my toes warm through this whole thing. So I never froze or shivered, or it wasn't that kind of cold. It was just, I just wasn't real cozy. And so anyway, part of it was cold, and I don't think my sleeping bag performed quite the way I wanted it to. But anyway, that was one thing. The other thing was the trees where I have my hammock set up, they're almost too far apart. And I had to use the last loop, I think, on my straps to hang my hammock. And I guess I didn't have it high enough off the ground. I knew when I sat down in it, it went down pretty low, but it was off the ground. Well, I woke up at one point in the middle of the night, my butt was on the ground, and I got a ground sheet down. I didn't realize it. There's a pine cone right underneath where my butt was, underneath that ground sheet. And so at first I didn't really worry about it. A little bit later I had to get up and go to the bathroom. So when I got up at that point, I moved the hammock up a notch on each strap. That made it tighter, and so when I got back in it, I could tell that it was more tighter and squeezing on my shoulders. I don't like that. It hurts my shoulders. So that was probably the other reason. If I'd have hung my hammock right, but when I had to adjust my hammock, I got it out of whack, and so that's my own fault. But I survived, and like I said, I wasn't miserable. It wasn't that at all. I could eat. If somebody said, "Hey, we're going camping," and they're like, "Hey, it's going to be a 20-degree night," I'm like, "Okay, I can survive it," and it's okay enough to where I would do it again. But it was okay. I survived, and so I know what me and my gear can handle now. Like I said, I don't have phone service, so I couldn't actually check the low. My truck said 19. I'm thinking it was, it could have been 17 or so. I'll look it up for this area when I get home and try to put it on the video, put it on the screen. So see what it is. But it was cold. You know, had everything froze. My water in my little coffee mug was freezing as I'm waiting to make coffee even. So it was chilly. But since I have, you know, accomplished my purpose of sleeping in outdoors in a cold night, I'm going to pack up and head back to the house. Again, it's, you know, it's something you really got to kind of plan for. It causes a lot of problems. You know, you got water, your drink's freezing. My GoPros are wonky because of the temperature. I've had to, you know, run my truck and try to warm them up. You know, frost on the on my rainfly, and I even had a lot of condensation on my hammock. You know, as the hammock folded up kind of over around me, there's a lot of condensation there. I've never had that before. So, but I survived, and so it was a good trip. And like I said, it's okay night, not too bad. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and let this fire go down a little bit, pack up, and head to the house. So hope y'all have enjoyed this cold overnight camp, and hopefully we'll see y'all on the next one.